Hello everybody and welcome back to Chris Bosch Props. Today I wanted to do a video talking about what to expect when wearing any kind of armor cosplay, or any cosplay for that matter, to a Comic-Con. The ups, the downs. I just kind of wanted to do a video integrating and putting together all the things of what you should expect if you're new to wearing your cosplay to a Comic-Con, because I've been very naive in the past when it comes to what to expect, and I've ran into a few obstacles. So I'm trying to save you guys the time, save you the problems, and you can find out exactly what to expect when wearing your suit to a Comic-Con. Let's go ahead, let's jump into it, and let's see what to expect. So the first thing to expect, guys, definitely is the heat. Now this can vary from location to location because some places are hotter than others during certain seasons. So keep that in mind when wearing your suit in your location. I have always tried to avoid summer Comic-Cons because this suit is just ridiculously hot and you are going to be hot. Now I know some of you have suggested that you put cooling packs in, but some of our suits are not optimized to put those cooling packs in. Some might be, and it might work great. My suit is already ridiculously uncomfortable, so by adding cooling packs in and adding more weight would probably just make it more uncomfortable. So to some suits that might work, to others it might not. It is a great suggestion though. They do make cooling packs to cool your suit within, or to cool whatever. We use these cooling packs in firefighting as well. When we do training, or some of the people who are doing the training will wear the packs while we burn up and we enter the structure and try to put the training fire out. But they do wear the cooling packs because they're there all day with different groups of people. They do wear out quite quick, and you have to replace the cooling packs as you go throughout the day. I don't know how long some of them last, but I know some people will be wearing their suits for hours at a Comic-Con, so you'll have to look into that. I don't know a whole lot about them, but yes, it is a great suggestion for your suit or your cosplay. So yeah guys, expect to be hot if you're wearing any kind of armor suit. That can be a Iron Man suit, a Halo suit, a Batman suit, any of those mascot type cosplays. There was one guy, I don't know what the character was. It might have been the raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy, forgive me. I don't know a whole lot about the history of the comics with Guardians of the Galaxy, but whatever the raccoon is, I think a guy was wearing a cosplay from that, and I kind of put my arm on him taking a picture, and I felt his sweat and I felt how hot he was. So yeah, expect heat. If you're not in good cardiovascular shape, you should probably get in shape. If you've already planned out a Comic-Con, train a little bit, you know, work out, do something, get on a diet to help you be able to bear the heat when you're inside of that suit. I work out quite regularly. My job requires it, and not only that, we get structure fires, and it was kind of weird. Before I wore my suit at this most recent Comic-Con, we had a pretty bad structure fire, I want to say about a week before, where we were in our bunker gear for hours and hours and hours. So it was kind of good training for me to prepare me for wearing the suit a week later, because it was miserable. So I was prepared to embrace the misery when wearing my Robocop suit. So yeah, I really wanted to go over that one because these get hot even in the winters. So I've always tried to plan the Comic-Cons or my events or whatever I'm doing when wearing my Robocop suit during the winter, and that being in Texas, it gets pretty cold. It can get freezing cold sometimes, and when you put this suit on in the cold, you're still hot, but it's not nearly as hot, way more bearable, and I could put in a lot more hours during the winter than I can this summer. At this recent Dallas Fan Expo Comic-Con, it was hot. Something was wrong with their AC, or it couldn't compensate for how many people were there. It was really hot. There was a point where I was putting the suit on, and my wife was helping me. In my head, I was just thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I was profusely sweating as she was putting the suit on. There's a stage when putting the suit on is I have to have the helmet on while the rest of the suit goes on me. So I'm wearing the helmet in there, already profusely sweating, waiting to get the suit fully on me, and I was kind of like, I hope I could do it. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna press on. I'm gonna make this happen. So yeah, guys, heat. What to expect? Heat. Another thing that comes to heat in these suits is putting fans in the helmet or inside your chest armor. I will say I did have a fan in here, as you can see. I had a fan inside of the helmet as I was wearing it, but the problem is you have trapped heat inside of the helmet. Not only do you have trapped heat inside of the helmet, you also have the heat outside of the helmet. So all that fan is being able to ventilate is heat. So with that said, the fan is pretty useless when it's hot. Now if the ambient temperature is cold outside of the helmet and it's able to pull that cold air from outside to the inside, that's when fans work the best. So when you do any kind of fans, always remember ventilation. Ventilation is an important part of firefighting that we have to learn. So that's how I kind of manipulate my fans to work. But unfortunately at some of these Comic-Cons, they're just going to be too hot and you're just going to be pulling hot air. So fans can be good and fans can be bad. The second thing to expect, guys, is obstacles and suit failures. Now, this is inevitable. I'm sure some of you have gone to Comic-Cons and you probably have been just fine. You prepared and nothing failed. But for some of us with these intricate suits that require a lot of straps and webbing and snaps and hot glue and whatever else you want to throw in there, stuff fails. And it will fail. So expect that when wearing your suit. There was a point when my wife was putting the suit on before I had gone into the Comic-Con where I was trying to make an adjustment on the straps that hold my legs up. And as I kind of jerked the strap really hard with my shoulders, and it pulled the leg, my thigh up, and it pulled the webbing that's holding the calf onto the thigh completely out. So one of the little snaps that I had hot glued in failed. And I'm inside of my suit thinking, am I gonna be able to go on? Is this even worth it? Because you get kind of insecure and you're like, it's already failed and I'm not even out there yet. But it happens. I kind of toughed it out and I go, hey, who cares? Is anybody even gonna really notice that one of my straps failed in my knee? I'll show you a little bit of footage here. You can kind of see the gap is a little bit bigger than the gap on the right knee. But with that said, stuff's gonna fail. It happens. One of my switches, I wasn't fully able to get into my glove. I was able to get the foot stomp switch, but I have another switch that goes into the glove. So I have a switch taped here and a switch taped here, so that when I'm walking, I activate them with my finger. Well, the switch here wasn't able to make it to the index finger here. I was only able to get the foot stomp switch. So it happened. I was disappointed because I really wanted the mechanical sounds of the suit, but it's okay. It failed. People want to see the suit more than they want to hear the sounds, but I still had the foot stomp sound, so it balanced out. But those are just some of the failures that I had. I always say, as human beings, a car can have a scratch, just a little scratch on it. The rest of the car can be completely perfect. We don't look at the perfect part of the car, we look at the little scratch, and that little scratch torments us. That's what's gonna happen with these suits, guys. You get worried about every little thing and you forget to look at the suit as a whole. Remember, the rest of the suit is perfect. You might have a little scratch, you might have a little failure here and there. People aren't going to eye your failure. Trust me, I've been to these Comic-Cons numerous times. I've never had one person come up to me and go, man, you got a scratch on your suit. Oh man, your paint job isn't very good. Oh, I mean, these are the things that people will do in comments when they can hide, but in person, you're never gonna have anyone come up to you and overly criticize your suit. Most of the time, people are very positive, very encouraging, very helpful. So keep that in mind. You're gonna hear me say keep that in mind a lot, because we tend to forget. So I just want to remind you and assist you. So expect these failures, expect these obstacles, and just push through it. You already put in all the work. If you have a little failure, oh well. I guarantee you, nobody is going to call you out for it, okay? So the next thing to expect, even if you prepare, is pinch points. Now, what are pinch points? When you're wearing a plastic 3D printed armor suit or even a fiberglass suit, expect pinch points. Now, sometimes pinch points don't show themselves right away. I like to do a lot of tests beforehand. For instance, recently with the Robocop suit, me and my wife put it on, I walked around a little bit, and you don't really feel much, but it also shows things that you need to adjust before you go. So I do recommend, if you are going to wear a 3D printed suit, that you test it before you go to a Comic-Con. Walk around in it for a few minutes, fill it out, see what you need to do to adjust it so that you're more comfortable on that day. But like I said, some of those pinch points are not going to reveal themselves right away. You might not feel them. You probably won't feel them until about an hour into the Comic-Con, or an hour and a half into the Comic-Con, maybe 20 minutes into the Comic-Con. I have this pinch point in the right knee of my Robocop suit, in the right thigh. There is this little hump here in the right thigh that rubs against my upper knee, and it hurts really bad, but I don't really feel it initially. It takes probably about 20 minutes for it to really start hurting and start taking the flesh off. I tried to shave it down about a 1/4 inch or so, and it still rubs. So even with the adjustment, I still had a really bad pinch point, and it hurt pretty bad for almost an hour and a half in the Comic-Con, but I had to push through it. I was there. I was constantly getting stopped. It's not like I could have just taken the whole suit off in front of the people and say, my knee hurts, I got to get this thing off. You just got to push through it. So expect the pinch points, guys. They will come. Some people are fine. They do so well on their suits. There's no pinch points. There's nothing that really hurts. But for most of us, we have those pinch points or certain areas of the suit that just rub in ways that are uncomfortable and you're not gonna like. But with a 3D printed suit, guys, being all plastic, just expect that it is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. So if you're expecting comfort, I assure you that no matter what you do, the suit will not be comfortable. As far as you're going to get it is comfortable enough. And what I mean by that is it'll be comfortable enough to wear, but it will still be uncomfortable. Another thing is preparing for travel. These suits are large. There's tons of pieces. You're not gonna want to carry in each individual piece into the Comic-Con. You really have two options. You can put the suit on before you go into the Comic-Con, or you can buy yourself, like I did, a really large 75-gallon tote. I put everything in there and I hauled that Robocop suit into the Comic-Con. Now, I did not let the Comic-Con know ahead of time that I was going to come in there and suit up. All I did was rely on divine providence to provide me a location to put the suit on. And thankfully there was a janitor that was in the Comic-Con that my wife asked, hey, is there anywhere where we could put this suit on? And she was like, yeah, there's this place over there in the corner behind the curtain. Go, you can use that and put it on. Sometimes you can get a hold of maybe a 501st Legion in the Comic-Con. They suit up inside of the Comic-Con. They might let you suit up there with them. The main reason that I mentioned travel is most of us go to Comic-Cons on Saturdays. Some people go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Saturdays are always the busiest days. With that said is, if you don't get there early, or there's a celebrity there that you want to meet that might be there later in the day, the parking might all be gone that's close to the Comic-Con. So you might have to put your suit on 2 blocks down the road and then have to walk all the way into that Comic-Con with your suit on if you decide to put it on before the Comic-Con, and be completely drained before you even get in there. And then sometimes even just getting into the building, it's still a half mile into the building, it seems like. So please remember that, and accommodate for it, because I don't like putting the suit on before going into the Comic-Con. I did that one time, and it was only because I was fortunate to get parking literally right next to the Comic-Con, but I still had to walk a long way to get inside of it, and it wasn't very comfortable. So I learned from sitting in the parking lot waiting to put my suit on for the Comic-Con, because we got there so early, as I saw some of the 501st and some other cosplayers hauling in totes, and I was like, well, I'm pretty stupid because I didn't bring a tote. This most recent Comic-Con I went to, I learned from them, and I bought my large tote, put everything in there, and I was like, we are hauling that suit into the Comic-Con. We will find a spot and we will put it on. I am not gonna walk a mile into the Comic-Con and be completely drained by the time I get in there. So yeah, I highly recommend, if you have a large suit like this, like a Robocop suit or an Iron Man suit, is to get you a large tote, a travel tote, to travel with it, haul it into the Comic-Con, and put the suit on. That will make your life way more easier. You won't have to walk as much in it, and it'll help you to enjoy your time more at the Comic-Con rather than stressing out about your walk a mile away from it. So this would also fall under the travel bracket, is not only the traveling to the Comic-Con, like packing your suit up in a tote and driving there, but also the travel you're gonna make walking in your suit at the Comic-Con. Because, like me, I had a goal. I really wanted to meet Peter Weller. I had no problems with taking pictures with people. That is one of the best parts of the Comic-Con. Not only taking pictures, but getting to show the suit off and show that hard work to everyone around you. When I say my objective and my goal was to get to Peter Weller in the suit, I really did want to take pictures with people, but I was hoping I can get it done after the fact. So that 5-minute walk that might have just been 5 minutes, it actually turned into about 30, 35, 40 minutes maybe, because I was constantly getting stopped for pictures. Now, unless you're completely rude and you don't care and you just walk right by everybody, which I could have did, I'm not that type of person. I couldn't do that, and I really enjoy taking the pictures. So it didn't bother me. But if you are wearing a suit like this and you have a goal inside of the Comic-Con to go see a celebrity or anything like that of the sort, keep in mind that 5 minutes can turn into 40, 45 minutes depending on how much you get stopped and how busy the Comic-Con is that you are visiting. The last thing I highly recommend for wearing any kind of cosplay armor or suit to a Comic-Con is getting help. I know some of us do this solo. I don't do this solo. I usually do this with my wife. She enjoys this hobby with me. She's definitely not as nerdy as I am. She's just a great helper, a wonderful wife that just enjoys this with me because I enjoy it. So she is my help. I mean, when I bring her, she knows how to put this suit on. She recommends things to make it easier. Having help is great in this hobby. When you do this solo, it's very, very difficult to do when you have a suit this large. I can't put this suit on myself. There would be no way that I can modify it to put it on myself. Peter Weller had to have multiple people help him put the suit on. It's just one of those suits that you just can't do it by yourself, unfortunately. So if you're wearing it, please get help. If you don't have a wife that supports you, bring a friend, make a friend. That's another thing. That's what's great about YouTube here, is you can make a lot of friends and you can get a lot of support in the realm of this hobby. So please guys, you don't want to be putting these suits on by yourself. And it also helps to have somebody film you. I mean, that's important too. I know a lot of you probably don't have YouTubes. I just don't film for the YouTube. I film for myself as well, just to look back at the memory of being able to see the accomplishment in which I did. This last Comic-Con for me, guys, was a huge accomplishment. It was like my WrestleMania when it came to wearing this suit. It was jam-packed. People were just, there was a lot of footage that was cut, guys. People were just beyond excited to see this suit, and I couldn't have been happier. It couldn't have been more confirming when it came to the hard work of building this suit. And to me, that was the perfect period at the end of the sentence when it came to this build. And guys, I hope you've enjoyed the years of doing Robocop. I think I'm just going to take a little break from doing these Robocop suits. There is a Robocop bust that I really want to do in the future. I also want to do the mechanical holster for the Auto 9 where it pops out. It won't be wearable, unfortunately, because there's just not enough room, and I really want it to be accurate, and it would have to be really inaccurate for it to work on me because I would have to enlarge the leg too much. But that's one thing I want to do for display, is a mechanical holster from the thigh. I really want to do a Robocop bust, a life-size, full-size bust of this same model. That's really, really cool. So I'm not completely done with Robocop, and I change my mind a lot, guys. If you've been following me for a while, I'll say I'm gonna do this and I end up doing this, or it's just, this hobby is exciting to me and it's fun, and there's so many things I want to do, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go here, oh, you know, I'm gonna do this, and it's just a part of it, guys. Okay, so I hope these tips helped you on what to expect. I'm sorry if I missed something, I'm sure I did, but these are some of the major things, some of the things I've encountered when going to these Comic-Cons that might help make your life a little easier when it comes to this and wearing your suit at a Comic-Con. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I always appreciate your support, and we're on to the next one, guys. Thank you.
On fire, I'm gonna push you over the wire. Perfect timing, tight as a drum. You find the battles already won. I'm taking hold of every moment, given strength by the breath of life. I'm gonna stake my claim, I'll fight to survive.